欢迎大家来到羊兄咖啡店，就让我来带大家一起去聊时事吧。Hello， 大家好，欢迎大家回到羊兄聊时事。这次呢，我们知道这次州选是两大势力的竞争，一就是国盟，二就是团结政府里面的西盟还有国阵哦。但是我们万万没想到是，竟然杀出了一个程咬金，也就是MUDA。哇哦，大家说MUDA真的是分散团结政府的选票，而且在这一次的州选上阵的却都是西盟的强势啊！哇哦，他们是来搅局的吗？这次的羊兄就非常的好奇，来到了雪州的万达镇，想对当地MUDA的候选人在新闻现在非常热度的人物，也就是林慧娴Abe Lim呢进行访问。我们不知道对他在当地的能不能访问到他呢？对于我之前的这个访问，我也访问过了西盟的国政领袖，欢迎大家看我以前的视频哦。这一期羊兄来到这里呢，就想对Abe Lim进行一个灵魂的拷问，究竟他能不能回答我刚刚提出的疑问呢？这期羊兄聊时，请大家追随羊兄的脚步，走进雪州的万达镇，来对Abe Lim进行拷问吧。走 ，Let's go。
这次羊兄来到了雪州的万达镇，华裔选民占超过78%，是一个西盟的强势哦。羊兄真的想得不明白为什么MUDA一定要选择西盟的强势上阵来瓜分团结政府的选票呢？有听羊兄聊时事的朋友呢，都知道羊兄是非常反对MUDA在这次成为第三势力来分散团结政府的选票的。所以羊兄来到这里目的只有一个，就是要拷问当地的MUDA候选人林慧娴，究竟他能不能撑起羊兄的追问呢？这期羊兄聊时事，请大家追随羊兄的镜头来访问当地的MUDA候选人Abe Lim吧。
好的。这是羊兄非常有幸的来到雪州万达镇，采访到当地年轻的MUDA候选人Abe Lim。
嗨。
哇，现在Abe Lim可说是新闻界的焦点人物啊！每个人在争相采访他，真的是很难约到哈。这次羊兄非常有幸的能够采访到Abe Lim，对他进行灵魂的拷问啊。好的，现在呢，我们来采访一下，问一下他对这次选举的意见吧。Okay, Abe, welcome to the program. So, you know that politics is tough, right? And what's your passion of joining politics? Why do you choose to join politics?
You know, in Malaysia, politics is often related to corruption and scandals. And that's why we're here with the Politik Baru, so that we can remind people that politicians are supposed to help you and serve the people.
Right, but you know, talking about serving the people, there are so many parties in Malaysia, out of 19 or 20, PHPN, whatever. But why do you choose to join MUDA?
I choose to join MUDA because, they're a group of young professionals very passionate about changing the political landscape of Malaysia. And when you think about our flat structure of how our party system is, it's very much different than how all political parties work. And that is what attracts me to join MUDA.
So you mentioned that you are talking about new politics, I suppose. So MUDA is a party that rejects old politics and you want to bring in new politics. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
So could you tell us more? What does that mean to you?
It means that we shouldn't compromise on our principle. It means that we should always do the right thing, even though, we have to work with someone else or we have to sacrifice some power or seats, but we always will do the right thing.
Right. Talking about doing the right things, could you tell us more about your manifesto? What could you offer to the residents of Bandar Utama?
For sure. My first manifesto is definitely people first urban planning, because there's a lot of congestion issue, public transportation issue, accessibility issue right here in Bandar Utama. The second one will be holistic environment. We need to make sure that we champion development, but responsible developments. And the third one is bringing back structural governance. For example, the local council elections. Right now, all the MBPJ councillors are appointed, not elected, and that's why there's no accountability at all.
Right. So talking about if you become an Adun, could you provide us with a specific example that you want to champion on in Bandar Utama?
The first thing I definitely want to do is to improve the bus productivity. For example, the buses here are never on time. They're always late. And why do you think that is? Because Bandar Utama is always jammed. It's not really the driver's fault. It's not really they're lazy. And how we can address this is by providing and implementing bus lanes. And as an Adun, I will champion that until it happens.
Right. So you're talking about your experience. Could you tell us tell the voters that why they will need to vote for you and what's your experience that convinced them to vote for you?
I've always been issue-based, If I see a problem, I'll make sure I find a solution. I'll always make sure I find a solution. And there's no excuse lah. Like if you want to solve an issue, there's a solution for everything, right? When there's a will, there's a way. And that's why you should vote for me, because I am solution-oriented. I'm not political-oriented.
Alright, here comes to the toughest part of the interview. Right, Abby, are you ready for the grueling?
I'm ready.
Alright, you know, people have been criticizing MUDA for dividing the votes of the Perpaduan government. What is your response to that?
Well, definitely we are not here to divide the votes. We're here to provide an alternative option for the people, because the seat belongs to the people.
Okay, but you know, people have been criticizing MUDA for contesting only in Pakatan majority area, including you in Bandar Utama. So why is the case?
We didn't really care whether it's, Pakatan area or PN area. It's what we can bring to the table and how we can serve the people best.
So what could you bring to the table?
Based on my skill set, I can elevate their community climate action. I can improve public transportation, congestion, their drainage issue, through my experience with my professional skill sets.
For example?
For example, when I was an environmental lawyer, we deal with a lot of cases on, plastics, drainage. We craft policies based on that, and that is something that I can bring to the table.
Okay, so you could have achieved all this thing with the Pakatan Harapan government, right? Because previously MUDA worked with the Pakatan government, but now MUDA choose to come out as a third force. So what's your response to that?
It's very simple. If you want to work with someone, there has to be mutual understanding and respect, but we've seen none of that. And we've tried talking to them. You've seen the emails, you've seen the press release, the press statements as well. They've ignored us blatantly, and this is why we're out here today.
Right, so that's why you're out here to present yourself as the third force to help to solve the problem of the people, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right, so the last thing, just come something relaxing a bit. So could you tell us more about your campaign experience so far? How do you find yourself in this campaign?
It's been great because the best way to understand the community is to be out there with the community themselves. And I've heard a lot of issues that are unresolved, not new issues. This issue has been gone for so long. For example, the PJ Ling issue has been going on for 10 years. And why hasn't it been addressed yet?
So why?
I also want to know why.
Right. So what could you do to help them on this issue?
It's very simple. Listen to the people and then bring their voice to the table as an adun. And that's how you can make a change.
Right. So coming to the end of the program. So Abby, what are the last thing that you want to tell our audience?
Choose who you vote wisely. For example, if you see what's happening right now with the PJD Link case, the people's voices have been ignored for 10 years. And if you see all the congestion, it has been there for 10 years. The double parking in Uptown, it has been there for more than 5 years, 10 years as well. If you really want change, this is your chance to actually vote for change. Goodbye, old politics. Here comes politik baru.
Alright, so thank you so much for your time, Abby. It's a great pleasure to have you on our programs, okay?
Thank you so much as well.
OK， 好的，今天的杨兄聊时事这个 Abe Lim 的访问节目也来到了尾声，不知道大家对于他的回答满不满意呢？也欢迎大家在下面留言告诉我哦。如果你是喜欢这类型的内容节目的朋友呢，请不要忘记订阅、点赞，还有分享出去，因为你们的支持是对我最大的鼓励哦。我们就下期再会啦，拜拜。